Hello, everyone. It is Mark Noble from Grove talking to you about some 2507 updates. This is push notifications for LiDA. So the way push notifications work, if we go into Aspen LiDA, um, we will, the patron will set up and say that they would like push notifications. So to do that, they go into their, move the Zoom dialog out of the way, go into more, and we're going to go into preferences, and we're going to go into device permissions. And the device permissions are where we can configure our notifications. The screen looks a little bit different between iOS and Android. So on iOS, we're going to click into notifications. We're going to go straight to a page there within the app. And we can choose to enable them all, disable them all. Um, and which ones we want. So in this case, the important thing is to make sure that the alerts about my library account are on. We're going to update our device settings. Um, and this tells us how we can do notifications if we wish. Um, let's go back to LiDA. Um, so that's all we need to do to really opt in. We're all set. I'm just going to go back to the home page and quit. And now on the back end, every couple of hours, there's a process that runs that will fetch notifications from the ILS and then send them to LiDA. So for anybody that has opted in, so we can run that process. I'm going to do that in the background. Um, so first we'll fetch them and then we will send them. And then we'll get a pop-up notification depending on where we're at. I'm just going to scroll down here so that we can see them. So here we can see that I've got a notification that says that I have a hold available for pickup. I can click on that or tap on that, and that will automatically open LiDA. Um, and we can check our titles on hold. And we can see that we have a new title available. So in this case, the My Hero Academia um, was the title that I got the hold notification for. We can also look in our account and in the notification history. This will show us the notices that we have. So they can always find them here as well. All right, then let's look in Discovery just to see how we can configure it now that we kind of know what the patron experience is. Let me share Discovery. So in Discovery, there are several things that you need to do to set this up. And that is a little bit intentional, just because we want to make sure that people deliberately set up the account notifications. So here under account profiles, we're going to go to ILS messages information. You're going to need to make sure that enable fetching messages from the ILS is enabled. So that's the first thing that's set within your account profile. This is valid right now for Koha and Sierra. So we encourage people to check that out. Then the next thing you will need to do is under Aspen LiDA, there's notification settings. I've got that open here. So in the notification settings, go back to the list of them. So in this case, I've got just a little bit there for, I've got one to test. So let's go into that. And here we're just setting up the notifications. This is what we use for saved searches, custom alerts as well. So now the account alerts are going to show up and we can turn those on. So they need to be available both within here and within the account profile in order to fetch and save those. Then you're going to set your notification settings. So here I'm going to set those to all ILS notifications, and we'll just save those changes. So if you don't have the ILS notifications set up, it's not going to send the account alerts because it doesn't know which ones are configured. Then we can go into those ILS notifications. So we can click on that here. And here's our all ILS notifications. This is going to look different depending on what ILS you're part of. So with Koha, we see that we have 76 different possible messages. These are all loaded directly from Koha. With Koha, we are um, basically sending the contents of the emails. So we're rebroadcasting those with the push notifications. We'll talk about Sierra in a minute, and those are a little bit different. So with Sierra, we're creating those differently, but let's look at the Koha ones first. Um, so here, this is just a list of all of the notifications that can be sent through Koha, and you're going to turn on which ones you do or don't want to send with push notifications. So if you're not doing, let's say you didn't want to um, send notifications on auto renewals or something. You could deselect that and save that. So there's not a whole lot of configuration to do with Koha because the text of the messages are actually generated within Koha. So it's really just turning on or off the ones that you want. I'm going to go to another system, and then that's really all that you have to do to configure it. So it's just a matter of turn it on, get it enabled, make sure that the right ones that you want to have push notifications on are generated. So then let's go to um, another system. So this is Sierra. And with Sierra, oh, that's not Sierra. This is our Sierra system. So with this, um, Sierra doesn't have the same kind of thing where we can rebroadcast the notifications that have been sent. So we are needing to regenerate these ourselves, which is both good and bad. It gives us a lot more power to be able to do the notices that we want. And at the same time, there's a little bit more configuration that needs to happen. You're going to need to configure things both in Sierra and within Aspen. So let's take a look at one of these. Let's take a look at checkout due soon. Again, so the ones that you can do are kind of hard coded. So holds ready. So the hold has made it to the hold shelf and it's ready for pickup. Hold it is getting ready to expire. So this is sent like 24 hours before the hold expires. The checkout is due soon. So that's sent, I think, 2 days before the checkout is due. Then things are overdue by 1 day, 7 days, 14 days. And then the item is billed, which is 21 days after. We may change these a little bit over the next release or two as we refine those processes for Sierra libraries. Again, you can turn those on or off. The other important thing here is that you can edit those. So if we look at that checkout due soon, we have the ability to customize the text of that. So we give you some default text. So here it's just the title and the body. HTML is not allowed here. It's just basic text messages so that we can send those as push notification. So here we can customize the English. So we could say copy from default. We could say, we want to say your item is due soon. And let's capitalize is to do that. We can copy the text. So here we can say, title you have checked out. Let's make it consistent. An item you have checked out is due soon. And if we have automatic renewal, we can include information about that. So um, let's just say items may automatically renew if eligible. And if renewed, the due date will be updated. So this is going to change depending on your policies, how you want to communicate with your patrons, that kind of thing. Then we can just save those changes. Um, and those will update and be sent. Obviously, you can have different languages as well. So if you have Spanish, French, etc., you can customize the message by French or by the language. And then these are sent to the patron in whatever the preferred language they have set up for their catalog. Um, so yeah, we're really excited to introduce the push notification functionality. Excited to get everybody's feedback on it. This is major new functionality. It's a little bit early stage, so we're looking forward to getting a lot of feedback to how we can enhance this. This functionality has all been sponsored by Gale Borden Public Library. So we thank them for their work on it. And yeah, we're looking forward to hearing all of your feedback. Thanks, everyone.